These flies won't leave me. Shoo, get away from my stew one. The stew is ready. My clothes were dirty too, and people were eating from it. How did I allow myself to become like this? All these flies inside my food. People trusted me to feed them. I thought it was nothing. I thought the fire would clean everything, but I was wrong. My clothes were dirty too.
The first time the flies entered Mama Binta's pot, everyone thought it was a mistake. The second time, people looked at each other. But the third time, they saw her use her cooking spoon to push the flies back inside the food, and she smiled. That was the day the truth about Mama Binta shocked the entire village. In the small village of Umudara, there lived a woman called Mama Binta. She was known for one thing: her food. Her rice was sweet, her stew was thick, her beans smelled so good that people followed the scent from far away. Travelers stopped in Umudara just to eat from her small roadside kitchen. But there was something else about Mama Binta. She was very dirty. Not poor, not sick, just dirty. She hated bathing. She hated washing her clothes. Her wrapper was always stained. Her armpits smelled strongly. Her hair was always oily and uncombed. Children used to cover their noses when she passed. But when she started cooking, people ignored it because the food tasted good. Or, at least, that was what they believed. One afternoon, during market day, Mama Binta was cooking a very big pot of jollof rice outside her wooden shop. The firewood was burning, smoke rising. The pot was full, red rice boiling, oil shining on top. People were already lining up with plates. Suddenly, flies began to gather. At first, it was just a few, then more, then many. Black flies, green flies, big fat flies. They were not just flying around the pot, they were flying around her body, on her shoulders, on her neck, under her armpits, on her face. One young woman whispered, "Why are so many flies around her?" An old man replied quietly, "They are following that." The flies were attracted to her sweat, to the smell on her body, to the stains on her clothes. But Mama Binta did not care. She continued stirring the rice. A fly landed inside the rice. Someone shouted, "Mama Binta, there is a fly inside." She looked down calmly. She did not remove it. Instead, she used her big wooden spoon. She pressed the fly down into the rice and continued stirring. People froze. Another fly fell inside, then another. Soon, flies were landing directly inside the pot, and Mama Binta kept pushing them inside. She even scooped rice and flies together, mixing them like it was normal. A woman screamed, "What are you doing?" Mama Binta laughed. "They are small, they will cook." The crowd stepped back in fear, but something strange happened. Some people still stayed because they were hungry, because her food was cheap, because it smelled sweet. Hunger can blind people. Mama Binta was not always like that. Years ago, she was clean, very clean, but life became hard. Her husband left her. She struggled alone. She became bitter. She stopped caring about herself. She stopped bathing daily. She stopped washing her clothes properly. She stopped cleaning her cooking area well. But instead of losing customers, she gained more. Why? Because she added too much seasoning, too much oil, too much spice. The strong spices covered the smell. People tasted pepper, but they did not taste dirt. She realized something. If I cook very spicy food, nobody will notice. And so she continued. One hot afternoon, during the village festival, Mama Binta prepared the biggest pot of rice she had ever made. Everyone was there. Drums were playing, children dancing. The chief was present. As usual, flies surrounded her, more than ever before. They were on her arms like black bracelets, under her wrapper, around her neck. Some were even crawling on her sweaty chest, and she did nothing. Then the wind blew. Strong wind. It carried dust into the air, and suddenly everyone saw clearly. The dirt on her skin, the thick sweat, the flies entering and leaving her body, landing on the rice, landing on the spoon, landing inside the stew. She dipped her spoon again, scooped rice, flies were inside it. She did not remove them. Instead, she scraped them off the top and pushed them back into the pot, right in front of everybody. Silence fell. The chief stepped forward. "Mama Binta, what is this?" She looked at him boldly. "They will cook. Fire will kill them." A young boy vomited. A woman fainted. The chief shouted, "Stop serving that food." Mama Binta became angry. "You people have been eating it for years." Gasps filled the air. "Yes," she shouted. "You ate it yesterday. You ate it last week. You praised me." The truth hit the villagers like thunder. For years, they had been eating flies. They had been eating from dirty hands, from dirty clothes, from dirty skin. The village health worker was called. She examined the pot. She shook her head in disgust. "This is dangerous. Flies carry germs. They sit on dirt, on waste, on dead things. They can cause sickness." People began to remember. The stomach pains, the diarrhea, the vomiting, the strange illnesses. They thought it was normal village sickness, but now they understood. It was not juju, it was dirt. Mama Binta's dirty habits. The fall. That same day, the chief closed her shop. Nobody was allowed to buy from her again. Mama Binta sat on the ground. For the first time, she looked ashamed. She looked at her hands. They were dirty. She looked at her clothes. They were stained. She looked at the dead flies floating in the pot. Tears filled her eyes. "I did not think it was serious," she whispered. But it was serious, because death can destroy lives slowly, quietly, without magic, without witches, just simple death. Days passed. Nobody visited her. No customers, no friends, only silence. One morning, an old woman in the village went to see her. She brought soap, water, a clean wrapper. "Clean yourself," she said gently. "Start again." Mama Binta cried. She bathed properly for the first time in many months. She washed her hair. She scrubbed her skin. She cleaned her cooking area. She washed her pots with hot water. She covered her food with net. She began again. Slowly, people forgave her, but this time they watched carefully, very carefully. Moral lesson. Not everything is spiritual. Sometimes the problem is simple. Cleanliness is life. Death brings sickness. Hunger should not make you blind, and sweet taste does not mean clean food. Always look well before you eat. Always care about hygiene, because what you ignore today can harm you tomorrow.